As usual, we called for council to handle certain business, but council has been adjourned due to lack of quorum. I cannot give a clear reason as to why my members delayed to come to council. You found me seated here with my colleague, Honorable Deputy Speaker, trying to ascertain, wanted to know why aren't they here in time? Why didn't they come to council? So we need to first get the reason. I cannot talk about something that has no backing. I am a straight-on person who wants to get facts first, then act on the facts. So today, sincerely speaking, I was caught off guard, so I don't know what to say, but I just want to urge my colleagues that we are here to transact business of council. We cannot do anything without quorum. So council was adjourned until such a time the speaker shall decide. Because now I don't have a working committee, that is the business committee. Today we were set to elect new standing committees because they expired today on the 11th of July, because these ones, now the current chairpersons, were elected last year on 11th. So they expired, their term expired today. We cannot do anything without those committees in place. But this doesn't mean that KCCA is not going to transact its business. As the supreme organ, we've given them enough work to do. So it's a process. They can be working on that until when? It might be tomorrow, because it is upon the speaker to decide on when to sit again. It might be tomorrow, it might be in the afternoon today, it might be on Monday, Tuesday. So we cannot go without committees. So very soon we are going to sit.
Okay, and of course for council to sit, there must be quorum. And quorum requires at least 50% of councillors to be available. After two or three attempts, the speaker realized that she's not going to realize quorum, and therefore she had to postpone the sittings to a later date when she can be assured that councillors will be able to attend and they can pass the order, the business of council that was supposed to sit today. Of course, the challenge we have is that we spend a lot of time in council, even when they aborted council sessions. Instead of focusing on the problems of Kampala, like dealing with the portals, dealing with the drainage, dealing with the markets, dealing with the hospitals, schools, we end up spending time in the council, and aborted sessions take a lot of our time. Now, regarding drainage, of course, I would encourage the public. Where you see flooding, it's not entirely as a result of KC failing to do its work. It's out of bad waste disposal practices by the public. Where garbage is disposed in the drainage channels, in the wetlands, it creates additional tasks for the authority. We don't have unlimited funds to pay for bad behaviors. At the end of the day, the public suffers through having flooding, which should otherwise be avoided, because we do clear our drainages every quarter to make sure that by the time it rains, we have clear drains. But bad waste disposal practices defeat our efforts. Lobiji, of course, requires desilting. Okay? The challenge is that there is too much human activity very close to the drainage channel. And as I said, the disposal of garbage is one major contributor to the filling up of Lobiji with silt and garbage. As part of our routine operations, we're going to try and make sure that we desilt it to ensure that the drainage situation and the flooding situation does not make the situation of the public living around it worse.
This doesn't cover the store cleaners and the reported individuals.
Waste disposal practices. If you connect your sewer line to a drainage channel, the drainage channel is not supposed to carry sewage. Now you're kind of also increasing the prevalence of disease. There is unsuspecting public that's going to have interface with that sewage, which is not safe. Then it's also going to percolate into the groundwater. There are people who depend on wells which utilize groundwater. That's going to be contaminated by feces. So you can see the ripple effect of bad practices. We're constantly in a battle with the public, enforcing and trying to make sure we check everyone. Imagine if the public was responsive to make sure they don't do that. You can imagine how much less of a burden KC would have. But now we are fighting bad practices which should otherwise not be what we do. Wasting government, wasting taxpayer resources on work that should not, where we should not be putting money is where we're putting money. Instead of fixing the potholes, we are dealing with bad behavior at the expense of a good city.